Good day friends, we start our next lecture on the subject ATP in continuation with the next lecture. Now let's see the next part, that is Real Estate Regulation and Development Act, that is RERA. Nowadays very popular. So Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016. Now why this act was required? You can see some paper clipping I had posted. So why this act is required? So real estate and housing sector were highly unregulated sector. They are nowadays also very unregulated and scattered sectors. So there is lack of transparency in projects and no proper information about the builder is given. So lack of remedies available to the buyers. So that it was failed, and so this act was formed. The Real Estate Regulation Development Act, that is Real Estate Regulation Act, RERA, its short form is RERA 2016, is an act of the Parliament of India which seeks to protect home buyers as well as help boost investment in the real estate industry. The bill was passed by Rajya Sabha on 10th March 2016 and by the Lok Sabha on 15th March 2016, that is 5 days later. That came into force from 1st May 2016 with 69 out of 92 sections notified. The central and state governments are liable to notify the rules under the Act within a statutory period of 6 months, applicable to whole of India except Jammu and Kashmir. Now it is applicable to Jammu and Kashmir also. Now Real Estate Regulatory Authority RERA is the governing authority and the law is not retrospective. Now purpose, why this act was established? An act to establish the Real Estate Regulatory Authority for regulation and promotion of the real estate sector. Government failed to have such act and to ensure transparency in the projects and to protect the interest of consumers in the real estate sectors and to establish an educating mechanism for speedy dispute redressal and to provide proper information about the builder. Now salient features, it establishes the state real estate regulatory authority for that particular state as the government body to be approached for redressal of grievances against any builder. This will happen only this will happen once every state ratifies this act and establishes a state authority on the lineup set up in the law. This law vests authority on the real estate regulator to govern both residential and commercial real estate transactions. This law makes it mandatory for developers to post all information on issues such as project plan, layout, government approvals, land title status, subcontractors to the project schedule for completion with the state real estate regulatory authority, that is RERA, and then in effect pass this information on to the consumers. The current practice of selling on the basis the the current practice of selling on the basis of angular super built up area for the real estate project will come to a stop as this law makes it illegal. Carpet area has been clearly defined in the law. The maximum jail term for a developer who violates the order of the is nearly 6 to 7 years. Silent features. Currently, if a project is delayed, then the developer does not suffer in any way. Now, the law ensures that the delay in project completion will make the developer liable to pay the same interest as the EMI being paid by the consumer to the bank back to the consumer. The developer cannot make any changes to the plan that has been sold without the written consent of the buyer. This puts paid to a common and unpopular practice by the developer to increase the cost of the projects. Lastly, every project measuring more than 5,000 square meter or more than 8 apartment will have to be registered with RERA. The law mandates every builder to keep 70% of collection from every project in a separate bank account. Now, the major provisions in the Act relates to the following aspects: registration, protection of buyers, and real estate regulatory authority and appellate tribunal. Now, registration. Who is liable to get registration from RERA? All commercial real estate projects where the land is over 5,000 square meters, all residential real estate projects where the land is over 500 square meters, or 8 apartments to register with the Real Estate Regulatory Authority RERA for launching a project. For an ongoing projects which have not received completion certificate on the date of the commencement of the Act will have to seek registration within 3 months. Real estate agents who facilitate selling or purchase of the properties must take prior registration from RERA. Such agents will be issued a single registration number for each state or our union territory, which must be quoted by the agent in every sale facilitated by him. What is the process of registration? Applicant has to file an application for registration with RERA in prescribed form along with prescribed fees and documents. Application for registration must be either approved or rejected within a period of 30 days from the date of application by the RERA. On successful registration, the promoter of the project will be provided with a registration number, a login ID, and a password for the applicants to fill up the essential details on the website of the RERA. What is the penalty for failure to get registered? A penalty of up to 10% of the project cost or 3 years imprisonment may be imposed. Now, registration. It debars the promoters from assessing its website in the relation to that project, specifying his name in the list of defaulters, displays photograph on his website and inform the other RERA, direct the bank to freeze the account. Now, time limit for registration for ongoing projects 3 months from the commencement of the Act. For new projects 30 days. Now, revocation: 1 on complaint, 2 on suo motu. Where the promoters makes defaulters or violates any terms or conditions of the approval or promoters involved in any kind of unfair practices. 2 exceptions: area of land up less than 5,500 square meter, number of apartment less than it, in case of renovation or repair or redevelopment. Protection of buyers. The Act prohibits unaccounted money from being pumped into this sector, as now 70% of the money has to be deposited in the bank account through checks. A major benefit for consumers included in the Act is that builders will have to quote price based on carpet area and not on super built up area. Carpet area has been clearly defined in the Act to include usable spaces like kitchen and toilets. Establishment of state level real estate regulatory authorities, that is RERAs, to regulate transactions related to both residential and commercial projects. RERAs will ensure timely completion and handover of projects. Appellate tribunal will now be required to adjudicate cases in 60 days against the earlier provisions of 90 days. Regulatory authorities has to dispose of the complaints in 60 days while no time frame was indicated in earlier bill. Hits and misses of Real Estate Act for consumers. Increase assertion on the timely completion of projects and delivery to the consumer. A step towards, first we will see the hits or advantages. A step towards safeguarding their investment, as 70% of the sales receipt will now be blocked in an escrow account. An increase in the quality of construction due to a defect liability period of 5 years. Balance builder buyer agreement. Faster dispute resolution mechanism through dispute settlement forums and appellate tribunal. sell on carpet area to help improve transparency, and increasingly regulated broker environment, greater visibility into the developer's delivery track record. Now, misses or disadvantage. The timelines of approvals by the regulatory authorities have not been defined. Any delay in the approvals from regulatory authorities could impact buyer as well. The bill may lead to slightly higher prices of the properties due to the reduced competition. New projects launches might be limited as developers may not be able to launch without obtaining approvals, which could take 2 or 3 years. Now, hits and misses for developers, that is advantages and disadvantages for developers. First, we'll see hits, or that is advantages. Increased scope for eliminating casual operators, leading to the better organized of the sector. Minimum standards of the governance and accountability have now been set to an extent, and there is potential for driving standardization and professionalism in the sector. Greater visibility into the developers' delivered performances, segregating the establishment and casual operators. Higher investment in the sector and a possible reduction in the cost of funds, leading to a lower cost for the end users. Now, misses or disadvantages. An additional layer of approvals may be introduced against the extended list of the approvals already required for the project. No provision to rationalize the number of approvals required for a project or expedite approvals through a single window mechanism. Increased reliance on external capital to achieve high growth, possible impact on joint venture agreements, and potential delay in cash flow realization from projects. Drivers and growth for real estate. Real estate, it gives rise to tourism, it declines in joint families, easy availability of finance, and rise of middle class. These are the four features of real estate. Now, real estate, it's a fiscal, gives rise to fiscal policy, strong demographic hikes or hicks, rise of middle class, and rising of FDI, that is foreign direct investment. Real estate gives chances to first time buyers, then it gives rise to international tourism, development of new stream of business, and it gives rise to medical tourism also, that is agro-tourism based tourism. Now, this is overview of Indian infrastructure. I have given it in a graph. Okay, this is from rupees in crores up to 5,000, and here financial year 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 up to year 12. There was a sudden rise in construction sector to gross domestic product from the year 2000, financial year 2010. Okay, this is a hierarchy of a construction industry. Okay, and I have given it in pie chart. So nearly 5% projects are commercial, 54% are infrastructural, 36% industrial, 5% residential. So construction activities are, you can just go through it. So construction, there in hierarchy, let's see hierarchy of construction, real estate and infrastructure. Under real estate comes residential and non-residential. Under infrastructure comes roads and highways. For residential, commercial and SEZ and IT sectors, IT buyers or IT pairs. For infrastructure, roads and highways, then airports, ports and railways. This gives rise to this sector also. Now let's say special economic zone, that is SEZ. Now, objectives of space, let's say in hierarchy, objectives of special economic zone, popularly called as SEZ, generation of additional economic activities, and it promotes promotion of exports of goods and services. So objectives, promotion of investment from domestic and foreign sources, then creation of employment opportunities and development of infrastructure facilities in the country. These are the objectives of special economic zone. Now government initiates policies. There has been a drastic curtailment in restrictive policies such as the Urban Land Ceiling and Regulation Act, reforms in the integrated township policy, and liberalization of FDI, that is foreign direct investment rules, and the emergencies of the real estate funds. Range of government benefits and incentives including residential breaks, tax breaks and the special economic zones. Major players in real estate, DLF Group, Ansal Group, the Big Five, Parasnath Group, Parasnath Developer, Unitech, and K. Raheja. Let's see DLF Group. It was founded in 1946. DLF Group is one of the biggest in real estate giants, built many high quality buildings across the country and especially in Gurgaon, tied up with Hilton Group in the building whopping 100 hotels in India over the next 5 years. In current expansion plans, DLF has over 425 million square feet of development across its business, including develop ongoing and planned projects spread over 32 cities, mostly in metros and key urban areas across India. Financials of DLF. DLF is the market leader in this sector with net profit of nearly 1,547 crores. It was way lower than its last year profit by more than 1,000 crore. It was well supported by the timely launch of IPL, that is India Premier League. The share of this company touched till the all-time high of 1,227 in December 2007, which was just 6 months after its issue and now trading at 337. Ansaz Group, founded by Lala Chiranjeev Lal Ansal. By far, most dominant activity of Ansaz has been real estate promotions and development. Company has several landmarks, high-rise commercial buildings like Statesman House, Ambadip Antariksh Bhavan, Tolstoy House, Indira Prakash, Naurang House, and Ansal Bhavan. Ansals have also completed several residential buildings like Gauri Sadan Upasna at Hele Road and Dhawandeep at Jantar Mantar Road. These are all in Delhi, all in the heart of New Delhi and at Connaught Place. There is most prestigious Ansal Plaza shopping mall associated with its work. Also, it has made elite township like Sushant Lok and Palam Vihar in Gurgaon and several other places all over the country. Financials of Ansals, their profit declined by 81.24% in last financial over the last year. This is one of the badly hit company by the economic slowdown. 569 is the all-time high of this company in 2006 and now trading at just 10% of its all-time high. Let's see, Parasmart Developers. It was incorporated on July 24, 1990 under the Companies Act 1956 as Parasmart Developers Limited. With more than 2 decades of experience in its repertoire, the group has already stamped its presence already in the 17th state and going pan-India. It has made various developments in areas like Gurgaon, Noida and South Delhi. Unitech Group, it plans to invest about US dollar to 720 million in building hotels in the country. Its partner for this venture is Marriott International. Carved a niche for itself in India with its sprawling properties and projects in Bangalore, Gurgaon, Noida, Greater Noida, and Kolkata. Unitech Group took over projects in international areas as well, actively involved in the construction projects of power plants, expressways, highways, transmission lines, classrooms, amusement plant. Radisson Hotels, New Delhi has won accolades for its wonderful infrastructure, ast- astounding interiors, ideal location, and extraordinary facilities for the distinguished customers. Rohini Amusement Park is also creation of a Unitech Group. The commercial complexes like Global Business Park, Signature Towers, Unitech Business Park, and Unitech Trade Center, and the launch of Millennium Plaza and Info Center in Gurgaon has made Unitech Builder earn a good reputation in the industry. K. Raheja Group. Raheja Developers Limited, commonly known as RDL, formerly Raheja Developers Private Limited, is an Indian real estate development company with its headquarters in Delhi, India. K. Raheja Corporation has been the torchbearer of the green cause for the real estate industry dating back to 2007, which is signed and memorandum and understanding MOU with CII, that is Confederation of Indian Industries Green Building Council. In 2008, Raheja developers planned to build a special enterprise zone SEZ in Gurgaon at an estimated cost of US 660 million US dollar. The development was on the beyond a 255-acre, that is 103-hectare site, but the project did not advance. In a gazette notification of the Government of India on 29 January 2014, the Raheja SEZ was denotified and the whole SEZ project scrapped. Now you can also search your own industries, okay, and you can post them, okay, and you can study them for exam also. Thank you very much.